Today we are studying next topic, that is projectile motion. Projectile motion is definitely for the 2D. We are discussing the chapter motion in 2 dimensions. So I will write projectile motion. I will not write here projectile motion 2D. What is projectile motion? First thing we should know what is projectile motion. So first you can define what is projectile motion. A projectile is the name. A projectile is the name given to any body which are thrown into space, with some initial velocity, and moves thereafter. Now the body moves thereafter under the influence of only gravity. Now the body moves after it with the influence of only and only gravity, without supply or without propelled by any engine or any fuel. Like this is the chalk. I'm throwing this chalk in the space. Once I've thrown this chalk in the space, I've provided certain velocity to this chalk. Now this chalk is in space and under the influence of only gravity. Because this is neither propelled by any engine or it is not supplied any amount of fuel. So now motion of this chalk will be called a projectile. I hope this point is clear. What is the meaning of projectile? In case of projectile, first you will provide some initial velocity to object, and thereafter this object will move. Under the influence of only and only gravity. That is the point of projectile. If I will discuss few examples based on projectile, this will make you more clear what is actually projectile. You have seen the throw of javelin. When javelin is thrown, the player throws the javelin in this manner at an angle theta from the horizontal, and javelin follows this path. This is what? It is projectile. If I am firing a bullet, with a rifle, then I think the bullet will move in this manner. But no, once the bullet is fired from the rifle, it has acquired some velocity, but after it, under the influence of gravity, it will move in this manner. It is coming towards the path is not straight. This path will be in this manner. Here, if I'm talking about a stone thrown horizontally from the top of a building, if I'm available on the top of a building and I'm throwing a stone horizontally from this building, then definitely this stone will move in this manner. This is also what? It is projectile. Everywhere in all the situations I'm talking about projectile. If let for example there is a container that is having liquid filled water and hole I have made at this place. From this hole a jet of water is coming out. The jet of water will come out in this manner, but it will fall down in this manner. This is what? It is projectile. So I hope what is the meaning of projectile? That concept is clear to everybody. Attach a note in the projectile motion during study of projectile motion. Air resistance. Attach a note here. During study of projectile motion, air resistance, effect due to curvature of the earth, and effect due to rotation of earth, are considered negligible. That means we are not going to consider air resistance as well as effect of curvature of earth as well as effect of rotation of earth. We are not going to consider these all points when we are going to study projectile motion. Attach one more word here. At all the points of trajectory of a projectile, value of small g, value of gravitational acceleration can be considered same. I hope this point is clear to you, that during projectile motion, air resistance, effect of curvature of earth, effect of rotation of earth are considered negligible. So value of gravitational acceleration can be considered same. At all points of trajectory of a projectile. Whatever the path followed by projectile is called a trajectory, and at each and every point of trajectory I will consider value of gravitational acceleration exactly same. This and the next topic, principle of physical independence. Principle of physical independence. Principle of physical independence. Principle of physical independence. Here you write down please. In the absence of air resistance, in the absence of air resistance, the motion of projectile is considered. In the absence of air friction, the motion of projectile can be considered as combination of two independent motions. In the absence of air friction, projectile motion can be considered as combination of two independent motion. First motion will be here. First motion is here. Motion along horizontal direction. Motion along horizontal direction. Motion along horizontal direction with uniform velocity. Because when particle is thrown in a projectile, in the form of projectile, it is having two parts. One is in the horizontal and one as well in the vertical. In the horizontal side, the velocity is constant because no acceleration is working in horizontal direction. And second part is here, motion along vertical direction. In the vertical direction, gravity is working. The second point is here, motion along vertical direction. In the vertical direction, effect of gravity is present. So I will say it is variable velocity or with uniform acceleration. Small g. So here projectile motion is combination of two independent motion. One is horizontal motion and one is vertical motion. Horizontal motion is uniform velocity and vertical motion is uniform accelerated motion. Make sure vertical motion velocity is not remains constant. Velocity is continuously changing. It is started from the maximum value reached to 0, then again start to increase. We will discuss the whole motion in projectile. We will discuss the whole projectile motion in this situation. So first we are seeing it here that motion of horizontal direction is not depending on vertical direction, and motion of vertical direction does not depend on motion of horizontal direction. These both motions are independent to each other. Their collection is definitely projectile motion, but if I am talking the component of projectile motion, these components are independent to each other, and this is termed as the physical independence. Physical independence. Case first of projectile motion. Right here, projectile fired at an angle theta. Projectile is fired at an angle theta. Projectile is fired at an angle theta with the horizontal. See this case carefully because number of numericals are based on it. This is my horizontal. X-axis. From the horizontal at theta angle with u velocity, a projectile is thrown. From the horizontal with u velocity at an angle theta, a projectile is thrown. So this particle, when it is thrown, it is following this path. In this manner, it is going on. If I am going to split component of this u, this component will be u cos theta. This component will be u sin theta. That means this velocity is having two factors, horizontal component as well as vertical component. So definitely two motions are available here. Now see, this is the maximum height attained by this projectile. Total time for this particle remains in air, I will say it is called time of flight. The horizontal distance which is traveled by projectile will be termed as range. Time to reach its maximum height, I will say it is time to reach maximum height T. This is time to reach its maximum height. Now at this final point, let's suppose this is the velocity of projectile. At the end point, this is the velocity of projectile. I can divide further into two components. One component and this component. This will be your x component and this will be your y component. And this will be the direction of resultant. I will say this is what? Beta angle. Draw the sketch carefully. Let's suppose I considered a point P here. At this point, velocity is v. Here are the components. X component as well as y component, and coordinate of P point is x and y. At this point, I suppose there is a point P. Coordinate of point P is x and y. This is v velocity at the point P. You can write here, suppose the projectile reaches the point P after time t. Please write, suppose the projectile reaches point P. Suppose the projectile reaches at point P. Point P is having coordinate x and y after time t. After time t. This is the condition. Now I will split motion in two axes. Motion in x-axis as well as motion in y-axis. So first I am studying motion in x-axis now. Motion in x-axis. In x-axis, acceleration is 0. In x-axis, acceleration is 0. I am applying the second equation of motion as is equals to ut plus half at square. Value of acceleration is 0. And distance is what? X. So I can write here x is equals to u. And what is the component of velocity in x-axis? That is u cos theta. You will write x is equals to u cos theta into time. X is equals to u cos theta into time. That means I can find out t is equals to x upon u cos theta. I can write t is equals to x upon u cos theta. I have studied motion of particle in x-axis. If I am going motion of particle in y-axis, consider motion in y-axis. If you consider motion in y-axis, apply the same equation as is equals to ut plus half at square. As is equals to ut plus half at square. What in y-axis? Coordinate of displacement is here y. Velocity in y-axis is u sin theta. It is u sin theta. Time I have calculated, that is x upon u cos theta. Place it. The value of time will be x upon u cos theta minus half a. A is replaced by small g and t square. You will get t square is what? X square by u square cos square theta. What is x square? That is u square cos square theta. If I substitute, u is cancelled. Sin theta by cos theta will be your tan theta. Y is equals to x sin theta minus. I will write here, it is g divided by 2u square cos square theta and x square. This is the final equation limit. The blood y is equals to x sin theta minus g divided by 2u square cos square theta multiplied by x square. That means it can be written as function of y is equals to px minus qx square. Y is equals to px minus qx square. What is p? P is represented by tan theta. And what is q? Q is here g upon 2u square cos square theta. And this is not that y is the function of x square. That means it is represented in a quadratic equation. It confirms, yes, that path of this one will be a projectile. It is the equation of trajectory of projectile. P and Q are constant. Here P and Q both are what? These both are constant. Here y is quadratic function of x. Y is quadratic function of x. Hence, trajectory of projectile is a parabola. Hence, trajectory of a projectile is a parabola. It is confirmed here. Dear P and Q clearly mentioned here. P refers to tan theta and Q refers to g upon 2u square cos square theta. In the equation, it is visible. Getting it? This P and Q are the constant values. Whatever the value of theta you have launched here, it is a fixed quantity. It cannot change during the motion. That's why it is constant. From here, see. G is always constant. Whatever velocity you selected initially, that is also constant. And theta is also constant. That's why this whole value is constant. Clear point? Here, time required to reach maximum height. To reach maximum height. Definitely, whenever I am talking for the maximum height, that means I am discussing motion in y-axis. I am discussing motion in y-axis. So I will discuss motion in y-axis. Motion in y-axis. I am applying the first equation of motion. V is equals to u plus at. Vy is equals to uy plus ay and t. This t is what? Time to reach at maximum height. I am replacing by here tm. This tm is what? Time to reach at maximum height. At the highest point, velocity of y, Py will be 0. What is uy? Uy is given in question, that is u sin theta. That is u sin theta is equals to minus g tm. So what is your tm? Time to reach maximum height is equals to u sin theta divided by g. This is the time required to reach at maximum height. Time required to reach at maximum height. Second point I am developing here, time of flight. Symbol of time of flight I am writing here TF. What is time of flight? The time or the duration for which projectile remains in air. Projectile remains in air. So whenever particle is coming back, at that moment displacement in y-axis will be what? 0. Because particle is coming back onto the similar platform. So I am considering again motion in y-plane. Motion in y-axis. And using the second equation of motion, as is equals to ut plus half at square. As is equals to ut plus half at square. In y-axis, your final displacement will be what? Your 0. U will be replaced as u sin theta, and t is your time of flight. T is your time of flight minus of half. Acceleration in y-axis is g and tf square. That means if I am going to obtain value of tf square, you just replace it. You get half g tf square is equals to u sin theta multiplied by tf. So one tf is cancelled. So what is your tf? Tf is equals to 2u sin theta divided by g. And we have calculated time to reach maximum height. That is what? U sin theta by g. That means you can write twice of t. Time of flight is equals to what? Twice of time required to reach maximum height. And it is as usual also. Because we have studied the time of ascent is always equal to time of descent in the absence of air friction. So whatever time required to reach from ground to maximum height, same time is required to come back from maximum height to ground. That's why time of flight should be double of, twice of time to reach maximum height. Third factor I down here, maximum height. What is the third factor? Maximum height attained by projectile. Maximum height. Symbol I am utilizing here h. Here for maximum, and again I am considering only y-axis motion. So I will consider same motion in y-axis. Motion in y-axis. You will apply the third equation of motion. V square minus u square is equals to 2as. All factors responsible for y-axis. That is maximum height, displacement in y-axis that you want to calculate. At the maximum height in y-axis, velocity is 0. What is u? That is u sin theta. The square of it is equals to 2. Acceleration is g, and that you want to calculate. What is height? You will get it is u square sin square theta divided by 2g. This will be negative. Maximum height will be u square sin square theta divided by 2g. And in the continuation, if I will calculate the horizontal range, if I calculate horizontal range, that is capital R, horizontal range. So what is the horizontal range? Horizontal range will be product of horizontal velocity and time of flight. Because in horizontal direction there is no acceleration. My horizontal velocity is v cos theta and it is multiplied by time of flight. Time of flight we have already calculated. If I am doing it, range is equals to u cos theta multiplied by 2u sin theta divided by g. I can write it u square 2 sin theta cos theta divided by g. Now this is a trigonometric function. 2 sin theta cos theta can be written as sin 2 theta. You write it u square sin 2 theta divided by g. This is your horizontal range. Maximum horizontal distance covered by projectile will obtain r is equals to u square sin 2 theta. And for maximum height is u square sin square theta. It is sin square theta and it is sin 2 theta divided by 2g divided by only g. Condition of what is the angle so that I can obtain the maximum range. So write here condition for maximum range. Condition for maximum horizontal range. Expression of r is what? U square sin 2 theta by g. Maximum value of sin theta is what? 1. And for obtaining value of sin 2 theta is equals to 1. That means I need the sin 90. But I need sin 90. For maximum r, sin 2 theta shall correspond to value of 1. And 1 value deal to whom? That is sin 90. And it confirms that value of theta should be what? 45 degree. That means if theta is 45 degree, what is maximum range? It will be u square by g. This is the maximum range which can be obtained by any projectile when it will be fired at an angle of 45 degree.